Hey friends, let's make a craft. We're gonna do the mini advent calendars today. Let me see if I can not roll over my camera. Okay, so let's talk about supplies, things you'll need. This is really easy, guys. Super cute. Fun way to use little trinkets if you have them. So we're gonna need some fabric. This is just some scrap fabric. This is about I would say by 3.5, two and a quarter by 3.5, 2 by 4, something along those lines. Okay. You're going to also need 2 pieces of felt. The fabric and the felt are the same size. This felt piece is, about 1.5 inches longer. Okay. So we're looking at 2.5 by 5, maybe 2.5 by 3.5, 4. Okay, so really you can make these whatever size you want. This just happened to be these, and I'm literally just guessing on the measurements, okay? You're gonna need like skewers, some string, a little bit of trim if you like. That how you embellish it is up to you. I have pinking shears. The sharper, the better. I have fabric scissors. And then I have trinkets. So I have itty bitty things. I have bows and buttons, doodads. I find I do collect like super itty bitty ones. I have some paper, little paper things that I can use. And I find that if you have like a calico critter set or anything that's kind of like that, dollhouse pieces, those make the best itty bitty pieces for this. So again, I think I did mention you need some skewers and your fabric, and I used Fabri-Tac for the whole thing. Okay, so let's get into it. I do have one of these. These are like a little, they're really for like sculpting and stuff, but I'm going to use it to move around little things and put glue on them just in case my fingers get too big. So let's get into it. This really is just a piece of fabric. We have a piece of felt, and then we have fabric on top. And then I cut little pieces of fabric here. Okay. So let's get into it. All right, first off, we're going to take this long piece of fabric and we're going to make the top piece with bargos. And we're just going to really fold it over, measure where we want it, break your skewer, and get in with some glue. We're just gluing it down and keeping it secure. Easy peasy. Okay, just like that. Can't get any easier, guys. Okay, if that stick comes out right now, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so this is going to be the piece that then goes on top here. Now, I do like to have like some offset, so the idea is that you see some of the color of the fabric and the felt, okay? You can leave it just like this if you want and just glue it right on with the edging the way it is. These, I tend to just fold over a little bit and then glue down so it gives me a flat edge. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And an easy way to do this is I just literally make a line here. I put my fabric good side down, but this way, my bad, like that. And then I just fold it over and it gives me this flat edge right here. And that's just how I like it. You can do whatever you want. And then I'm going to go in with my Fabri-Tac and glue the fabric down. Easy peasy pudding pie. These make good ornaments. You could put them on a journal. You could really do some fun things, like if there was someone like you know personally and there's some items that they liked, like you could theme them for a friend or a family member. Maybe someone likes to cook and you could just do all cooking items. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in and trim it up because it's a little long here. I don't need all that. I have some string hanging here. And then I'm going to trim away some of this here at the bottom because I really don't need all this. It doesn't matter if it's too straight there. We're adding some trim at the bottom to cover that up. Okay, so the next steps are making the squares. Okay, and since we already have a piece of fabric that's pretty much the same size, just cut it down. If, like, I did cut some off, so I'm going to cut off just the little bit here on the end. Making it match. Straightening out my edge. And then what we're going to do is, I think on mine I did 1, 2, 3, 4 strips with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across. Do whatever you want. Let's see. Let's go in and just cut some strips. So there's one strip. Covers it across. I can just, let's do a couple of them. Through 2. I think I'm going to do 4 and 4. So just 16 spots on this one so that I can see a little more of the fabric. That's a little close together. And I'm not mad about it. I think I just want to see more fabric. So this is just a little bit. Cut some of that down. All right. So now we have 4 pieces. Everybody see that? So we lay them across. And this is where you need to cut stuff down and make little squares, however way you want. And you glue them down. That's all you do. I'm just making stuff a little smaller. And then to make even squares, cut in the middle. And then cut those in the middle. And then what you should have are 4 squares. And then cut them down whatever way you want. If they're too big, just cut them down. And we're just going to place them along the top. I like to see the back, the offset of the other fabric. So I like to make them small enough that I see that, and then they also fit comfortably. So like this is a little big. I'm going to cut them down, and we're going to do that all the way down. Cut little squares, and you're going to glue them down. Cut these into squares, glue them down. And again, if you go into the middle and into that again, you're going to get even more even size squares. And then you're going to want to cut those down even more to offset. So in the end, you're going to look something like this. Now this is a little more spaced out than my original one, but I think I like being able to see the fabric more. If you don't like that, then fit them in, make them smaller, spice them more together. It's up to you guys. All right, so now I'm just going to start doing some, I'm going to add my trim now before I put anything on. So I like to add a little piece of trim at the bottom there. So let's just go ahead and put some fabric tack down. Once I start adding my trinkets, I don't really want it to move. I'm just going to let it sit there overnight and dry. So that's why I'm going to do all these pieces first. All right, so that's on. While that's gluing, I'm going to grab my little bit of string. Oh, it fell on the floor. I've got some red and white striped string, and I'm going to tie. It's easier if I tie the circle like first, like the hoop first, and then put it on since it's so small. Tie it there, do another one here, make my loop first, put it on the end, tie, 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 make sure it's on there good, and then you can tighten it up, tie it again, and then cut away what you don't want. Okay, making sure everything's sticking there. All right, so let's cut away some of this, cut away some of that, cut away down at the bottom here. And now we're ready to decorate. So let's see what I have. I definitely like adding little bows and some embellishments. I think I want to do purple though. Right off the top, I like to add just a little something up here. It adds like a little bop. A little bop and a little pop of color. And then I'm just going to start like adding a little bit of glue and adding some things down. So for instance, I have this, looks like an ornament bead. I have a candy cane. It's a little long, so what I'm going to do is just cut it off. And then it fits a little more perfect on there. Little glue. I'm going to glue this thing, actually. Put that on there. And you're just going to keep embellishing however way you want it. What else do I have? I love the red hearts. And I don't think I put one on everyone. I kind of scattered it around, as you can see. Let's see. I do have these really fun tickets. I'm going to put one of these on there. Kind of like that in the middle somewhere. Put that guy right there. What else? Let's get some pink or something in here. I have a little, I don't know what this is. It's something cute and little though. A little glue on that guy. Let's put him right here. And I think you kind of get the whole spiel, you know? Look at this. I got a little Santa, a little acrylic. Let's put him on here somewhere. And then you can just keep going, filling it up the best way you like. Okay? I think these are so fun. So cute. Happy crafting.